Ms. Tenney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ranking Member, for holding this meeting, and thank you to our distinguished panel here. This is something that I think has been so necessary in my district in upstate New York, which spans hundreds of miles across all kinds of rural communities, and it'll be even larger next year. And I have seen so many people in my community who do not have adequate access to care. It's a huge problem. We had this issue with where we finally got telehealth, at least, or telemedicine to the Veterans Administration through our VA clinics to get them some, especially because of the pandemic, but it was really great to have that. Many of these people, as I know some of my colleagues have cited, have a hard time getting to these facilities. It could be a many-hour drive. In my area, we have lake effect snow. Almost the entire district is in the lake effect stripe of New York State. And it's just been a tremendous burden on them. And one of the interesting things that stumbled upon me the other day, and we've been pushing telehealth, and obviously I was very interesting that Dr. Alchek, you said that where Medicare goes, so goes the telehealth, I think was what you said. Well, last year I happened to be stumbling upon a 200th bicentennial of the town of Macedon in Wayne County, New York, a very rural area. And I walked into the library just to get set for the big bicentennial celebration, and they had in there a digital privacy booth where patients could go and call up their doctor in a secured setting and look at their doctors. And I thought this was pretty incredible. So I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but it was actually a test put out by the University of Rochester Wilmot Cancer Institute and the Community Cancer Action Council and a group of about 29 stakeholders in upstate New York to try to see if this is something we could do to bring telemedicine to rural communities. And it was interesting, this was the test site, so I was fascinated by it, and I think they're getting great results. And again, the big question is, how do we get Medicare to get us there so we can get health care to so many people struggling in rural communities? And that's why I wanted to ask you, Mr. Alchek, about how do we, and I know that telehealth, telemedicine is the step before we get to where you are. How do we make that, can telehealth, telemedicine be valuable in predetermining in some ways what happens when you get to the stage where your vision is with Cadence to get people to full health care? And how do we get there? Obviously, Medicare is going to be a big part of it, but I'd just be curious about your vision is, since you're obviously a visionary leader here.
No, thank you for the question, Representative. And my wife, who's a physician, will be upset if I don't say I'm not a doctor. Yeah, she reminds me that every day.
I see doctor up there. I figured I'd just say.
Yeah, no.
I'm a doctor of laws, right?
My wife would be very upset if I didn't say that. But to answer your question, telehealth has a very valuable tool here. And when we think about chronic disease management, I think one of the things that's most exciting is the ability to give patients access 24/7. And so you talked about the lake effect in your district right now. On President's Day, I guess that was 3 weeks ago now, Monday, we had 300 patient red alerts, which are those blood pressures above 180, as I was talking about, and 300 patients call in proactively. And the fact that now they have access to care 24/7 has a massive impact. A lot of those patients would have ended up in the emergency department if they could have gotten there. And so the opportunity here to create a better experience for patients is very meaningful.
Well, thank you. And I want to just jump on one thing that just came to mind while listening to you with these lake effect problems. One really urgent problem we have is the closure of a lot of hospitals and really most of our rural hospitals operating in the red. One of the issues that has come up is the safe patient staffing rule that we have in New York State, and also a requirement that an RN be visible. We've had numerous people come in and constituents say that we can't even find an RN for an entire county. So how is your model at Cadence helping us? Because obviously you're monitoring people at home. How do we comply with something like the safe staffing rule that is in New York and is also been proposed here on the federal side?
I think one of the interesting opportunities with this type of chronic disease management is you can help clinicians manage more patients safely and effectively. And we have such a large provider shortage in the U.S. that we need to use technology to help providers be more effective managing more patients safely. And there's a very large opportunity to do that.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the witnesses. Wonderful. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody, but tremendous to hear you all. Thank you.